Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 4th edition of BTS Americas. This BTS America journey started way back at the beginning of July of 2015, and we are already in the 4th edition, where we have another 16 American teams squaring it out towards a $10,000 prize pool. This is just day number 1. You're here at the start, so don't worry. We got another, what feels like 30 days of BTS America's action. It's actually like something like a week, but every day it's 2 different best of 3s as long as we stick to the schedule. And for today, to round out our second series, Animal Kingdom, we're going to be going against Evernova, and we are about to embark into game number 2. Joining me remotely for the coverage, a swell fellow is always by my side for a lot of the BTS America's action. It's Blaze, back again, my friend Blaze. We saw Evernova kind of get trounced a little bit there on the back of, well, Animal Kingdom and their very impressive performance. We don't know much about XYC, but he played a solid OD. But my God, his brother in arms, ZYZZY, can play a hell of a Sven. It's been a treat so far this series.
Yeah, both brought a lot to the table in a lot of the fights in the previous game. I mean, I think overall, just the movement of the team was really solid. They knew when they could take fights, when they couldn't, and were able to get some real dominance down. I got to say, it takes some moxie to pick up a gem that early in the hands of Nusham there. So being able to get map control that way, get like 4 wards down to constantly suppress the enemy territory, it's just... Yeah, really, really well done by Animal Kingdom on all counts. So they got the fundamentals. Now let's see if they can follow through. As far as the draft goes, we did see that instead of Nature's Prophet ban, we saw a Beastmaster ban. So while most of the banning first phase reflects what we've seen in the previous American games, this time the Furion will be coming into play. And Oracle is not actually the best Furion answer to Furion. Like, I mean, you can't stop him from teleporting away. You don't have any really good disable. I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be great for the OD and whatever other core they pick up. And obviously,
that's what it feels like. It feels like it's more for their other core, whoever it may be. Could be Sven again. Maybe they go for Ursa since they're Dire side, and he can benefit a lot from like a false promise to get out from trouble. But it definitely feels like the Oracle pick is for them and their own benefit, and they're just going to play their draft, and they're not looking to play too responsive with it right now. But Evernova, they go back for their comfort pick once more. And what looks like the 4th position, Juan Nyx Assassin here. Now they move on. They'll be banning out the Void. This comes after the Spectre being taken out. Can now they consider Blaze going more of the global strat at this point? There's not going to be a Spectre again, but this time they do have the global presence of the Nature's Prophet. Now the Nyx. How else? What do you think would be the dream to like build on top of this and really kind of have all the cards you could ever ask for?
I mean, I like global is an interesting style because what it allows you to do is take advantage of multiple lanes and still contribute. You hit your ultimate, generally speaking, you're going to be able to assist in a kill process, and therefore you generate momentum every time your abilities are off cooldown while still being efficient about your movements. In this case, you got the Nyx Assassin, who definitely can start a kill, but other than like an addition of an Ancient Apparition, I don't feel like you really want to commit more cores to that vein of thought. You want cores that can stand up well against the OD, and I just feel like Nature Prophet, Nyx, and then maybe AA as your second support, that's sufficient to kind of go and take advantage of that positioning dynamic. Other than that, I really don't feel it's too big of a concern, and I actually kind of see this Fen come back. So, yeah, I think you address the OD in this Fen much more so than worry about exactly where the abilities come and go.
So now we got to think what they can do to address these heroes right now. Being able to kind of keep them out from pressure. I mean, like what's so bad with going back to like what was like the Power 3? I personally like to call it back a TI3, which was a circular trade-off of mid laners between the OD, the Razor, and the Viper here. We don't see enough of the other two at all. Is Viper really just something to not really look at this point if you're Evernova with kiting capabilities against this Fen and a good matchup against the OD? Or is it just not a thing?
I like the Viper. I think that actually could be a pretty solid pick. I don't see anything wrong with a Viper pick in the mid matchup, obviously, other than it's not a good third pick because you can easily pick it up 4th. So yeah, overall, I think that you could build off that really nicely there. As far as the Viper Strike, it can't be dispelled. It's one of the few. All of Viper's dots actually cannot be dispelled, so that's one thing that False Promise can't really take care of. So I like it. I think it adds some nice value. It matches up well in the mid, and like you said, it can definitely deal with that Sven.
But Viper's not cool is the problem, and I think teams are just like, we don't care. But it may be the right pick, but we got all these flashy mid lane players who are trying to be like the next Kobe Bryant or Allen Iverson with the ball dribbles between the legs and all that action, but the Viper is just a little too cut and dry. You don't see.
You know what? You know what's not cool? Losing your lane.
That's true
what's
too.
Not
losing
cool.
the lane, losing the game, being out of the tournament after round 1, not cool stuff, unfortunately. And it's more about getting the wins. They are crunching through the time though, so we gotta look at what other potential powerhouse mids could be there outside of like a Viper or Razor. Let's say they already got rid of the Invoker, which has been like a go-to for so long. They'll hold off the mid laner for now, though it looks like Blaze, and opt for the Witch Doctor, which has always been a solid grab nonetheless. A pesky coconut caught off in a choke point in a river could lead to utter destruction, and someone caught out in a Sprout, maybe a Sven, let's say, and you are just under torture from something like a Death Ward. So, Witch Doctor, can't fault that. A good try.
All right.
And
Interesting.
something we or you specifically were talking about a bit in our last series. Here we're going to be able to see it in play, but is this a off-lane Abaddon, or is this going to be in tandem with Oracle?
I mean, Abaddon Oracle doesn't really make much sense in my head.
Yeah.
Like, as far as their early ganks, early lane presence, like, it just doesn't do much. So, unless you're like Iron Talon Abaddon, and then you can run them both as support. Otherwise, I would say he's definitely off-lane. So, if you want to get involved, and that in of itself depends on what carry is picked up, because you really don't know what's actually going to be in the safe lane for Evernova. So I guess you keep it flexible. You have the option of the Iron Talon jungle Abaddon. You have the option of throwing him in the off lane if you feel like he can deal with Witch Doctor Nyx +1. It's going to be PA coming out here. Obviously, really good in terms of being able to dodge the auto attacks of the OD and the Sven.
Yeah.
So the evasion is going to be a really big deal. But I'd say OD probably just goes Atos early. Instead of the Blink Dagger, goes Drum, Atos, Treads. And from there, I think the PA will still kind of be an average pick.
I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head for that one. PA, hero that people love to see, the flashy, bloodthirsty crits that can come out, but, just not a really core pickup that's been thriving in the recent meta at all. I mean, really a hero when you have to bank so much on a successful RNG to kind of go along with it. It makes it a bit tough. It's always nice to have that aspect that you're going to be forcing the other team to kind of itemize appropriately just to deal with it. But, yeah, as you mentioned, they already have an OD, which getting an Atos is not something very far-fetched. It's like a Fata classic, so it's going to be interesting to see that. Something I was toying with the idea, it's like, I think Evernova, it's one of the few games where like, Lord have mercy, what happened to AA? Can we see that once again? You're going against an Abaddon and an Oracle, for God's sakes. Like, maybe you can benefit a bit. You've got the Global to go along with Nature's Prophet, a Nyx Assassin setup. Hell, I mean, it even works out nicely with PA when you give her the fancy mittens along with her dagger. Who knows?
Fair enough. No, I actually think that AA would have been a significantly better pick than the Witch Doctor, and I'm actually surprised it went with the Witch Doctor, because you look at it now and it just doesn't seem to do much. The one thing it does have going for it is there isn't much hard lockdown for the Death Ward. You're not going to Astral Prison a Death Ward. You're unlikely to Stormhammer it. Oracle's got nothing. So Knight's coming to the job of the Night Stalker. He's going to have to stay on the Witch Doctor and damage him that way, because like that's the only thing that the Witch Doctor really brings, is you have to save a silence or a mini stun for him. Other than that, I feel like the Witch Doctor is weaker in all counts to the Ancient Apparition, who can set up the Nyx Furion for an easy kill, who can allow the PA to zone out her opposition very directly with that Chilling Touch buff, and who just in general gives you a confidence against this heal bot combo of the Oracle Abba.
Yeah. And with this Night Stalker coming up, I would wager, at least what we've seen from other teams, is running that dual lane of Night Stalker Abaddon together. I imagine that could be something for them to consider here, and now that Evernova see that, they might need to respond in a way that they could secure a strong lane, or they'll just get a frickin' Tinker, and we're going to be in for a Tinker game now, all of a sudden. And that's, you look around, it's like, do they have the catch for a Tinker? How are they going to jump him? How are they going to stop him? A Blink Sven in hopes to God you get him with a Stormhammer or OD? I mean, they have the map control with Night Stalker at some point, but here we go, Blaze, a Tinker game. I got to hear what you think about this before we actually get into the game itself.
I think actually you'd be surprised that one of the major reasons you'll see it picked up is just for the laser. Laser is great against OD, great against Fun, and limiting potential auto attacks is a huge deal in this game. So Blur and Laser are both very impactful. I've seen even like a PA Tinker Brewmaster lineup go up against hard right clickers and just make it impossible for them to really fulfill their role, deal their damage. So I think it's really high impact, and it will be very effective at just doing what it wants to do in the tree line with the Blink Dagger until the Night Stalker gets his Ags, which if he's going for this Iron Talon start, shouldn't be that slow. It should still come out by before like the 26, 28-minute mark, somewhere in there, and that'll be a night time to remember, as the Tinker finds it very difficult to elude just the Animal Kingdom in general.
I mean, this is one hell of a global presence going to be coming out, though, from Evernova right now. I mean, the only other, like, team I've seen prominently being using Tinker as of recent was, I want to say, is it not today that have Van? Van, for sure, who's been playing a ridiculous amount of Tinker in some of his recent games outside of his, formidable Slark. I'm anxious to see now him back in action. It's one of those heroes that's been really kind of fallen off for quite a bit. So we'll have to see. But for now, they kind of just have this 5-man towards the mid, trying to get a little bit of, brief sight of intel maybe, and then they will converge to one side or the other. I look at their map vision, they don't have it, and they're going to be doing without the Nature's Prophet in the meantime here. No trees to kind of scout anything out, and Ziz will make his move going right for the rune. Are they going to keep him back here? It looks like they will. And the bottom one's up for grabs. Mad dash to get there. Free bounty runes.
So Nusham's going to be blocking the mid lane so that the OD with his superior base movement speed is going to be able to grab it. And that was could have been a very interesting confrontation. I'm not entirely sure who gets the advantage there, actually. But it is going to be just a 1-for-1. And the block will favor the Tinker. Actually, he gets the Rage Creep in front. That's the important thing.
He'll be good. I'm excited to see the laser go to work. A unique answer. Haha! For a formidable mid lane opponent, and he just responds back. He's like, "You're gonna laser me. I'm gonna send you to the next dimension." But what you don't know is that we got a little bit of a surprise here for you. Both supports come out, and they get it. A thankful last aim hacking auto attack is gonna be able to come out right there, and they get it done. First blood will be going to Let Me Go.
There's a lot of luck in that kill. There were a lot of downhill to uphill auto attacks that did not miss. And then there was the cask bounce back, which it had multiple targets. I think at least 2 other targets that it could have gone to. So ZXYC comes up a little bit short in the RNG department, and he is going to be the first blood despite the Fairy Fire, despite playing pretty defensively. I do think that was very well executed by Evernova, but you cannot deny that they got lucky.
Juan on his Nyx Assassin here knows that Nusham has been hanging around the jungle with his fancy little glove, the Iron Talon here. He's looking to kind of sap up the XP and be a bit of a nuisance and remain in the dark. As we get back into action, a very spiteful ZXYC will kind of quickly astral up this Tinker, and they'll get to go back into their 1v1, but does have to be cautious. That Nyx Assassin still hanging around here. We'd have to see. The response could come out, no TP yet onto the Abaddon at this time, or Oracle.
Denied.
So we'll have to see if he softens them up enough. But look who's swinging in from behind. Ooh.
I think a really big deal about this matchup now is the mana game. The fact that Tinker got first blood means he already has bottle. So these int hits actually just give him more efficiency whenever he chugs on the bottle. And then he's, of course, going to have the control of the rune. So, and actually, in this case, we do see the Oracle grabbing it up. So, although Nyx will steal the experience from the Night Stalker. What? Is he actually... No, this is so weird. Why would he go this way? There's actually no way to really get this kill. You'll get the Impale... You'll get the homing missile, but this is a huge waste of time for Tinker.
All right, cool. Not even gonna get the golem. I mean, just do something with it. All right.
I have no idea what he thought was gonna happen there.
I don't know. Maybe he's like, there'll be a ward that way. I gotta walk this way, right up in front of everyone. That was a bit peculiar, but after he takes a walk around the block, Let Me Go makes his return back to mid lane, and they'll be right back off to the races with Juan top. Happy to contest up this pull camp a little bit here. Will Ziz make his move? That's a long charge up. And they will follow it up with the stun, and that could be more than enough. They certainly will. Ja has only level 1 Purifying Flames is still enough, and they will burst down that pesky little beetle.
All right, so in the meantime, though, Jenkins is doing pretty well down bottom, has burned through his entire mana pool, but has been able to at least get involved in the lane here. 9 CS on the Abba and only 10 on the Phantom Assassin, so she's not doing that much better. I am kind of surprised Jenkins didn't go for the Magic Stick. It's almost a must-have against PA, and... of course, if any other support is involved, then you definitely need it because there's going to be spells. So I feel like he is lacking a mana for specifically that reason, but he just goes for the Basilius and he'll get it up gradually.
Picking out back at mid lane here. This Tinker at second CS to the Sven at the moment is putting hefty points obviously into the laser and rocket. So indeed passing up the march at this point.
TP
stacks
bottom.
being done, but okay, TP getting involved here. Hook comes in globally. Jenkins could be in a bit of trouble. They now sprout him up. He's able to get the shield off, but obviously it's not going to be enough. It's going to be Mr. Baidu King is back, who's going to be picking up the last hit on the PA.
Oh, they actually might be able to get the Tinker here. We're going to see Ja connect with a very nice Fortune's End. He will unfortunately heal the Tinker in the process, though, which means it's going to be harder and harder to bring him down. He's getting so much health from these curses.
It's the mix of the intel, losing intel, and getting healed up from Purifying Flames, and it just looks like he's just getting so much from it. Now he's suddenly going to be at nearly full life. Or missing a third, but still. Oh, miscalculated just by a bit. Even when you have that level 2 Purifying Flame, sometimes it just feels like you're going to have enough, but you don't. But back at mid lane we go. ZXYC sets up the Astral here. Jalo looking to charge up the Fortune's End. It will connect, but the Carapace is going to be here, and now they have to turn it back. Pumpkin Men coming out, punch him a bit, but it's not going to lead to any sort of bloodshed from either side.
And that was so unfortunate. That definitely should have been an opportunity in the Tinker there, but miscalculates the range and the timing, and just doesn't work out. Now, actually, Chicken's getting pretty aggressive. Doesn't have a TP scroll, so he doesn't have a disengage if this starts going hairy, but there's no mango on the Fury on either. But he can't drop the Sprout, and that means that they're not going to be able to isolate the Abba.
Help nearby with Jaw, but yeah, being short a bit of mana means that there's no Sprout, no way to stop that pesky little Jenkins. And Ziz, I feel like it's been just kind of having the time of his life in this top lane. We haven't really paid much mind to him, and when I'm seeing him atop the CS, I'm sure he's happy about that. He'll get it all the way in. He's got the Helm of the Dominator, I'm sure, coming in his near future. Now can work with the jungle farm there and hand over the lane to his support, who's very thirsty for some XP, or maybe just giving the Night Stalker that extra boost so he could start controlling the map a bit better. Nonetheless, it seems pretty damn profitable right now for Animal Kingdom.
We are going to be seeing that approach with the Helm of Dominator, but because the mentality has shifted for Sven, where ancient stacking isn't as good for the very reason that it is good, the fact that everybody looks for it, everybody counters it, I actually feel like instead of going for Dominator, he could have gone for Hannah Midas. He got the last hit on the tower, he's getting complete free farm in the lane, and he got an assist. This guy could have like a 7.5 minute Midas. If he didn't go for the treads, he'd have a Midas already. Like, I feel like that could have been an option for him. Brown Boots, Midas, and then go for some of your more classic items.
Mid lane with the Invis Rune, let me go. Hoping for some sort of catch opportunity while Derp tries to play a bit of bait, finding some solo farm. But while they're kind of caught up with that, Animal Kingdom are on their own move here. Smoked up. Ja's going to be able to get into enemy territory. Plants up not one, but two wards here. One behind the tower, and they see a nice little Toadstool Courier. Are they going to go for it here? No, they're not. They're going for the better target, and it will be the catch and kill onto the PA who tries to blink back. So, worthy grab for them. Their smoke leads to success, and they will even the game up now 2-2.
All right, so while the OD is struggling, at least the rest of the team of Animal Kingdom are thriving. So we're going to see actually some heavy push down bottom, most likely with the God Strength here. First, they're going to go ahead and clear out this nice little stack left for them, and then they're going to go ahead and push the bottom tower as well.
Nice chunky farm here for Animal Kingdom. And yep, as expected, they'll be able to take this over to the bottom to the tier 1. ZXYC is standing still right now. You got to get the hell out of there, boy. And he will unfortunately get caught out with the Sprout, with the Meldic. Self-Astral will stall things out, but he will have to be the sacrifice here. Was unfortunately just kind of caught picking his nose, maybe typing or something, but it's just nonetheless a free hand-me over there for Evernova when he could have just stayed back, let them have the tower in exchange for the one they just got bottom.
Yeah. So at this point, the Furion push is going to coming into play here. We're going to see at least this tier 1 tower go for in favor of Evernova, which is very important because the first set of items is extremely necessary for PA to be relevant and for the Tinker to be. BOT is going to be coming out at a pretty good clip here. It's 8 minutes, and he's only 300 gold, less than that now, off the Boots Travel. They're actually going to the tier 2 tower, though, and obviously this is something Animal Kingdom will not abide by. They'll maybe lose the ultimate on the Abaddon, but they really want to defend this tower.
Josh shows up. He needs a big burst of damage. Man, that Tinker just, bam, blasts him down. Laser rockets, all it takes. Oracle is done for, but Hook now up in arms with Jenkins. Jenkins hit him up with the curse damage a bit, but Derp hitting him from the north side, forces him in a bit of a pickle. But here comes the rest of his team. Sprout says, "You shall not pass," and the one tree eat is not going to be enough as he's still caught in there, and it looks like Evernova are going to be able to make it away from trouble. Bottom lane pings are out as it's Ziz pushing onto the tier 2, gets it pretty low, but now Here comes trouble. Hook's moved in with the TP. A blink in from the PA after teleporting to the bottom side. It looks like we'll secure their kill. Getting a nice little dagger in the neck coming out from the PA. He's going to be able to get the finish there. Evernova escalate further ahead now, 5-2.
Yeah, so that's going to be obviously him getting some good damage on the tower through God's Strength, but an even better exchange as they're able to put more damage into the mid-tier too, and more importantly, get the kill while losing nothing. So good disengage there from Evernova. This is the momentum they need to take it to the mid-game, where we're going to be seeing this Tinker do a lot more. Well, CPA most likely do the same, but right now, Tinker, BOTs, that's his first power spike, Blink Dagger, and Soul Ring the next one.
And with that, together, and a Nyx Assassin Vendetta.
Actually, I might have to take that back. We actually are going to be looking at a no March Tinker, so we're not exactly sure what to expect out of this guy. He's going to get rearm, presumably at level 8, but generally speaking, like, he's kind of just trying to go with the Nature's Prophet, jump to tree heads that are summoned, and just try to burst the crap out of people.
It's just, yeah, he's going to just show up and just zap the hell out of anything in front of him. With the assistance of the setup coming out from, like, yeah, your Nyx, your Nature's Prophet. Shouldn't have too much trouble bottom lane. Jenkins up in arms here. Making his move for PA. Curse is going to be popped to get him away. And the Sprout, unfortunately, will kind of lock him in his place. And Evernova will be fine and make it away. You know, now with Boots of Travel online, I'm going to be just as curious to see what kind of tag team work we're going to be seeing here.
He doesn't even go for the rearm. He's got maxed out laser rocket, and it's just going to be trying to burn down this Fen as quickly as possible, and it should work.
All right, he's saving it. He's going to just slightly soften him up. Laser rocket kill. Coming out for Let Me Go now on a killing spree with his Tinker.
Yeah, so I mean, at least they're suppressing the Fen. It doesn't really matter that the Tinker's not going to get that much farm. He's not going to be able to stack clear because the Sven's not doing that either. He actually has been stopped completely in his tracks, where he was doing so well at the start of the game. Now he's died twice consecutively, and his death timer is enough to really inhibit his item progression. Overall, Animal Kingdom, like, they're not really getting off the ground. The OD was suppressed early in the laning phase, and now around this 10-minute mark, the Sven is having a really rough time.
It's just so weird to see it. Tinker just used his first fresh Boots of Travel, and he can't even reuse it again. So
yeah.
With that, now he's got the laser out onto Jenkins. Force him back a bit, but can't do much more than this, and he'll have to slowly walk himself back to Fountain if he needs to build up the mana once again. So it's a bit awkward right now, but I'm sure this is going to lead into some sort of potential once he finally does get those rearms together. Because level 1 does cost quite a bit. The cooldown, I guess he just wants to kind of preserve it a bit, and instead goes more into the heavy burst potential.
So at this point, obviously, the Dire are looking for this whole invade control, where they're able to kind of pick off anybody that gets too aggressive. But other than the Witch Doctor getting a little bit far forward by himself, everybody else is clumped up, and it seems like it's going to be just pretty easy tower damage coming up top, where the mid tier 2 is already down to 270. They're going to be able to drop the top one down quite a bit as well.
Well, they're going to make a move for Ziz here. Dagger will slow him up, and now Nyx goes into Vendetta. They're thinking about it, but Nushim shows up. Rotations are coming in. Will they be tempted into making a play here? We look to the Tinker, who's bottom lane, has Boots of Travel, and that is going to be the move. They're going for top lane. Can they get it done here? And Evernova looking to set up the strike. But now Jenkins moves in forward. Derp going to be caught from the stun. The first burst target's going to be the OD. They may get the support, but it is Evernova who may be getting the better targets. Derp does indeed drop, but here comes Hook. Follow up a new Sprout. That's going to be Ziz going down. That's their core's already done for. Jenkins could be next, but he does have the ulti. Will be forced back, and I haven't mentioned it yet, and I'll probably go into it later. The combo of Oracle and Abaddon is very, very good, but oh man, not going to be having the extra help on that one. PA just easily steps in and slashes him apart. Triple kill for her, Evernova. Huge fight for them, 9-3, taking about a 400 gold swing for themselves, plus a tier 2. Huge boost in the economy for them.
All right, so a lot of momentum right now. The Tinker is going to be able to build himself up quickly. Do you think at this point he just turns his no tally into the Dagon and just goes for this whole burst build where he doesn't worry about blinking? I mean, blink is only as valuable as you being able to, like, blink and march, and in this case, he's not going for the pushing build. He's not going for the farming build. He just wants to kill people, and just going hard for the Dagon seems the best way to do that.
I mean, you might as well at this point. It's not like anyone on the other team has a BKB yet, and the hefty burst would pretty much one-shot John, take him out of the equation at this point. And yeah, when you already don't have March and you're not stopping big pushes and big pressure that are going to be coming out. I really don't see. I don't know, unless he's got something unique, totally unique here. I wager just straight. I mean, not going to go what, Veil, Veil Tinker, Perma Veil for everyone, but it would be more on, I would say, going for the Hefty Dagon first. We'll have to see. One thing I didn't get a chance to mention that I always love to preach about, and I didn't get to see the combo very often, but we get to this game is Oracle and Abaddon together. And you got to remember, if timed out nicely, like you could turn all the converted damage from False Promise into a positive for Abaddon if you pop his, borrowed time just before it goes off. You can easily trigger in the early game Apothic Shields with the help of Purifying Flames. It just easily pop Purifying Flames onto your own Abaddon, and that shield will go down. And yeah, just the ridiculous amount of regen he'll benefit from Oracle is just something to be a sight to behold, if you will. But in the meantime, look at Ziz. Big chunk of farm here for him. Gladly farm it through. And it looks like this is going to be all sorts of BKB, but that's going to force Jenkins borrowed time.
Doesn't miscoil, unfortunately. Jenkins does not get to regenerate any HP there. That's going to be very problematic. I mean, they got the silence now on the Nyx, but I think the PA might just kill the Abaddon if he can just get vision.
Stun. Boom, boom, and you're not going to be able to get that KS, unfortunately, Ziz. He'll step off and away from that one. With the Nyx down, they think about heading mid lane, but there is still plenty of Evernova kind of hanging around this bottom lane area as they look to kind of get some damage onto this tier 2. If they hang around much longer, though, there will be an interception, but they have these nice Treants just kind of scouting out. They'll see trouble coming in, and they quickly make their breakout. PA, nice little jump on the hook right there. They look to make chase, but it looks like they're not going to be able to grab anyone from Evernova at this point. Well, I say that, but Nusha, my God, he moves fast. He'll pull off.
Yeah, so I just got a chance to ask a statsman here, and it actually is only 11% of the time that Tinker even skips rearm up through level 8. And still, more often than not, you're going to be seeing that in a farming build, and maybe just have like 1 or 2 points in the laser, and then of course the max machines. But in this case, very, very rare oddity coming out from Let Me Go. But how do you feel it's been working? I mean, obviously the PA gets picked off here, but in general, they have the kill advantage. They seem to have a lot of the map advantage. Do you think they're worried about the next stage of the game, or are they just trying to focus on right now?
Is Evernova forcing on the next stage of the game?
Yeah, I mean, with the whole Tinker, like, he's a super cannon.
It's obvious that they haven't reached what they feel is like their full potential yet, the big peak of when he has this kind of hefty burst, but I don't know, at this point with Animal Kingdom getting that fight, getting the Roche, as long as they tank up appropriately and analyze well, Animal Kingdom, I don't think they'll be phased too much by that first peaking window of this Dagon. I don't see him being as much of a nuisance. He's not going to be forcing Animal Kingdom to be split apart. I don't even know if they're going to even care to split apart. So, I don't know. I feel like it's a big element of their game that's not going to be there. But look at this. Moving in. Quick Nyx Assassin takedown with the Sanity's Eclipse. They got the setup for Let Me Go. This Tinker can't do anything about it, and he is just as fast to die. A double kill for ZXYC. I mean, I don't think that's a direct answer to your question, Blaze, but it does not feel like this Tinker is scary at all at the moment.
Like, I feel like with the ability, heroes like Nature's Prophet and Tinker, like, you can rat so hard on the map, and you can force it so that Animal Kingdom can't really just go for a hard push. If they go down for like a tier 2, they're going to be losing more structural damage on the other side lanes because of the way that you can break through creep waves, that you can push down towers. So I kind of feel like playing the rat game and extending the game to the point where the PA is really strong, because you know that OD and Sven are not going to get an Monkey King bar for a very long time. I just feel like that might have been the better way to turtle this one out. I mean, you think about what they're going to be lacking in terms of high ground defense, but they don't have the multi-march spilling out on the tier 3 towers to prevent the siege. It just feels like if they had just played their own game where they extend the game time, go for the mid to late game, I feel like they would be in a pretty good spot. Like, there's no big blink initiators to jump for quite some time. Now finally we have the OD picking up one, and Ziz in some trouble here, does sidestep the stun and get sprouted up. We're actually going to be seeing Derp drop a really nice ultimate, but immediately cancels out by Nusha.
Ziz is still alive here, eating a lot of the damage. Jaw doesn't want to use the False Promise, obviously with the Aegis there. He instead uses it on for Nusham. He gets bursted up from the laser, might need a bit extra heal power. He is going to get it there. He did give him the Fate's Edict, so that stun does not do extra damage, which means it's not enough to burst him down, but it looks like his second round is going to be a quick end right there. They have to work hard to get this Night Stalker down, but it looks like it ultimately will happen. Jenkins just finishes off his borrowed time, pops his shield, trying to retreat out and away. Jaw tries to help him, but now Jaw gets himself into trouble. They both go down. They might even get Jenkins too, and they will. 3 quickly fall from the side of Animal Kingdom. And what we're talking about with Evernova potentially just kind of falling a bit short as the game does progress. This has been their biggest window of positivity going now as far as where the game could go forward, and it continues to get better.
Oh.
Coconut bounces forward and locks him in place. CXYC is going to be forced to get Ziz under the Astral to save him, but not going to matter. Aegis will be popped. And this is going to be round 2, but I think the smart move for Evernova is to get the hell out with all of what they have already gained, and it looks like that is going to be the case.
Yeah, it just kind of turned into an awkward situation where there were 2 heroes from Animal Kingdom very far on the front lines while Ziz was just trying to get out. He obviously didn't want to use the Aegis in that way. He didn't want to take that fight. And yet, because they were desperate to create a buffer to keep the Aegis intact, they end up sacrificing so much that the Aegis doesn't end up meaning anything anyways. So it seemed like a little bit of miscoordination, a little bit of desperation given the circumstances. They just tried to avoid giving up too much, and instead they end up falling on their feet and doing just that. Now we've got ourselves a position where Evernova have a bit more of a win condition. They can start looking for just kill after kill, and first and foremost it's going to be on Nusha.
We'll see. There's the dagger. There's the damage. He turns back for the void, but it might be just a bit too much. His team is kind of close, but obviously not going to be close enough. And they'll have to pull off with that. You know, here comes Evernova. Want to continue up this movement towards the mid lane, and Nature's Prophet, he goes for the Maelstrom here, so he's got that split pressure at the ready, and there is levels of March slowly coming together here. Blaze, he even puts the second level to March obviously over the ulti at this point, so the split push capability is going to eventually develop, but okay, this might have to stall things out a bit. 3-shot. Okay, Sandy's Eclipse, because why not? CXYC, though, whoa, kept alive there with the false promise, turns back, gets the Astral, but I think it might be a bit too much work. We'll take a double kill, and we'll still survive. All good and well. Animal Kingdom looking to get a response from their engagement previous to this one in the mid lane. We'll be able to claim this game right back. Nice coconut stun between the two. Jenkins trying to delta split away from it. CXYC moves in and is also going to get up with the coconut here. Can they stop Derp Derp? They don't see him yet. Astral? What? No! Not going to get it. Makes it out and away, and the rest of Evernova trying to just make their way out and into the shadows like cockroaches, and oh, Hook also barely going to be able to make his escape.
A lot of very, very lucky escapes coming out from Evernova, but I mean, I got to say these Witch Doctor casks have been absolutely insane. They've just been so on point with their ability to screw with the heroes on the front line. They always seem to be bouncing back and forth on the front line, and they force people to clump up on multiple Nick stuns and stuff like that. There have been multiple kills completely disrupted by this one ability, and I mean, that's what you really need for a lineup like Evernova's. They can do quick picks very easily, but as far as extended 5-on-5 fights, they need their Impales to be Ravages, and they need their Casks to be Chain Frost. Like, they just need everything to connect.
Ooh, Jaw. Just a little far from home. It doesn't feel like he's very far from home, but just that little bit. And they smell blood, and they'll go right for him. Oracle is now going to be out 30 seconds. Would have had a false promise for this upcoming engagement, which might have to be in this top lane. Evernova already ascending into the high ground. They're doing some work here. Now the March machine starts coming out. This tier 3 is soon to go down unless Animal Kingdom respond themselves. They get close enough here. They're stalling out while they can. They're so close to getting those next big items. An Agnum's on Night Stalker, a BKB on the Zodi. And here comes Ziz. Just jumps right onto the PA. Can he get the RNG? Well, gets enough of it. He will be able to get the kill here. So tries to make it worth their while. Evernova will be walking away with a tier 3 takedown. But Animals, they go right into a smoke and they ping. I don't know if they're heading straight for Roche. It's not going to be up yet.
Either way, the ward should have seen it out. The Nyx will just reveal it and back off. But yeah, the Roshan is not available. Apparently, they did not have the timer. It must have been a little bit chaotic when the Roche fell earlier, because this is not within the potential timing window of Roshan, and it's clear that they didn't actually map out the clock. But nevertheless, we just see some good continuous pressure from Evernova, but I'm not sure if it's necessary. Like they seem to have the intention of ending the game as soon as possible, and if they can start taking racks before animals can get back up there, they might just do it too easily. I mean, the OD's already dead.
Ouch. Down and out. That's 1 racks down. Animal Kingdom. They're scrabbling back right now. There's no TP on this Night Stalker. TP on cooldown for the Oracle. So this is just running in there the old-fashioned way. Well, let's see with the coconut here. Are they going to make their move for him? Okay, they can't get the send follow-up, so it's going to be fine. Oh, this is...
Oh, no, the Sven!
Oh.
They could have absolutely caught him out there. They do finally get the Sprout on him. Where's the Death Ward going to be coming? It's right on the Sven. He's very tanky, though, and it's going to be the Dagger slow, but the Warcry boost away.
Okay, they're committing in. Jenkins pops out his ulti and the Blade Mill at this point. We'll be able to step back and away. We'll see if Evernova, they put the priority on for the racks. But, oh, big crit does come out into Jenkins here. He's going to have to get healed up from Job. We'll do so. And now Jumpers is way in the back line trying to go for the Tinker. Will be able to take him down. Now sets his sights for the Nyx. Gets that one, too. It's a double kill. Possibly to be a triple here with one more Mighty Slash. There it is. Ziz will pick up the triple. They get that last racks down, but PA, it looks like her life will be handed over. There's no one to jump to. Can we get an Ultra? No, we cannot get an Ultra. It's fine, though. It is going to be a 4-man takedown for Animal Kingdom at the expense of their racks.
All right, so obviously still a long-term gain for Evernova. Yeah, they lose 4 heroes, but the barracks at 25 minutes is still going to be a significant setback, as the Animal Kingdom always have to worry about that push pressure. Furion could start hitting the bottom lane up more than the top, and it just makes it much more difficult for them to continuously defend. Like, it's very, very probable that Hook just takes the bottom tier 2 without any chance for animals to even respond to it, just because they're caught between so many different angles. And I mean, still great pickup of the Shadow Blade from Ziz. That Shadow Blade absolutely won them the fight. He just walks right through them, no detection, grabs the Tinker, grabs the Nyx, just barrels through them, and that Shadow Blade was incredible for that. But I don't know, man. It's just with 1 racks down, he needs the Silver Edge online as fast as possible, and the Nature's Prophet with now the Aghanim Scepter is going to make it pretty miserable in terms of their balance between offense and defense.
So do you change up the build now for your Tinker and just kind of completely forego the Dagon, let's say, and build up into something different? A Sheep Stick or something like that? Maybe necessary or not, or do you still want to get the hefty burst?
I think you still want to bring down the Oracle as quickly as possible, and the best way to do that is either Orchid, which doesn't make that much sense for the Oracle, or sorry, for the Tinker, or go for that Dagon. Just burn him down quickly. So I think that it probably still goes for the traditional build, but you look at his gold, and he should have been able to buy it already.
Yeah. He's nursing it a bit for now, though. See what kind of commitment he makes, or look, maybe he's reaching out to his team, so he makes the right decision.
Oh, they smoked
here.
Under the Night Stalker Ags. They'll break it.
It's quickly popped, and here it comes. Trouble! Animal Kingdom moving, and they start slashing them all apart. Holy crap! Oh, Ziz, he's looking for the third here. Can he slash down the PA? Gets a couple of thankful misses right there. Moves in for, well, a little bit of reaching room onto CXYC, but ultimately it will be a triple for Ziz, man. That is just an unfortunate spot to smoke up for Evernova. And that extra bit of vision coming out Nushin. Going to be able to scout him out with the help of that Aghanim Scepter, and it is just all she wrote. Now that's going to lead to a Roche, and all the meanwhile here inside the base, Evernova trying their best. Pesky Pumpkin Men coming out to tickle this tier 3. But what a fight, what a movement, what a man mode, Sven.
It's just insane what he can put out now, and he's got the Silver Edge complete. They take Roche, they take Ancients, they take all those lives, and I really can't blame Evernova for trying to get this game taken care of sooner, because when you really look at it like that, like the Aghanim Scepter from the Night Stalker is what tore them apart. He gets it at like 26 minutes, even earlier, and it's any nighttime, he's going to be able to break smokes. He's going to be able to destroy wards. He's going to be able to make it impossible for them to find their initiation. So I really can't blame them for having impetus to try to end the game sooner rather than later, but it just feels like they didn't have the right heroes for it. Like, I'm fine with the Tinker going for a burst damage build if you have a hero that's not a PA. If you have a Lycan or obviously Lone Druid always being banned in the phase 1 doesn't make him a really good reference point, but maybe a Juggernaut, just something more active earlier. But they go for the PA, great against Sven, great against OD, but the timing's all wrong. with what the rest of the team wants to accomplish.
And for match point at that as well. In a single elimination tournament, going all in for a PA seems something, not even something Envy will be pulling out, even though he loves the hero to death. But they are giving it a swing here, and she still has quite a ceiling to try to build into, if even going to give that opportunity or not. So we'll have to see what potentially Evernova, I was going to say what their plan B will be, but they've already fallen back for the split push game right now, and more or less it's going to be a lot of the same here. And we'll have to see if Animal Kingdom can get another opportunity like that, and instead of following it up into a Roche, taking it into the base right now. And I suppose they could just push sooner before that, Blaze, that they have the Aegis already on their side. But, I mean, is it more for them to stall out, for the Sven to get even that much bigger, or?
Well, I honestly, Mr. Question, I was distracted by the very close counter down bottom. That was of like essentially a blink dodge away from an auto attack. Like he was within like 200 units of just clobbering his target.
Now that is an interesting way to deal with the PA, the Silver Edge there.
Yeah, it's actually like the first item you think of when you think of mute. Like Shadow Demon Axe versus PA is amazing. Doom, of course, against PA, and a Silver Edge. It's definitely one of the best items, and one of the reasons PA fell off so heavily.
Oh, Nyx Assassin looks like was spotted out right there and quickly bursted down. Trying to get some extra intel for himself. While this happens, Let Me Go begins to go to work in the top lane right now. And this will continue to force Animal Kingdom to kind of get someone back in at the ready here. And I mean, Jenkins can do it now, but I love this. He's got the Maelstrom here, building up the Mjolnir. Any way to kind of deal with this mini game. That Nature Prophet does pull out this time, so you need to have the appropriate items. A little bit of life leech here. He's got the Vlads already, but put that together, get the Mjolnir, and he could be good enough alone to try to deal with this push and eventually maybe get your boots to travel. But for now, it's a solution.
Yeah, I was curious if the OD would have considered going that route as well with the Hyperstone, but I think he'll just go for the Moon Shard. It seems like as long as you have one hero addressing all these trees, then you're fine. And Jenkins with the Vlad's mail, and then of course the Curse of Avernus, he should be perfect to kind of do that. And he's a little bit vulnerable to the surprise attacks, but he's less vulnerable than others. So the borrowed time should allow him to maybe get away from a Nyx Tinker play. If Nyx Tinker and Furion all descend upon him, that he's going to have trouble.
Oh, nice. Nushim has been stalking. This Nature's Prophet bumps, cancels his TP, and then it's enough time for ZXYC to show up. And for a team that pretty much only can rely on that bit of vision advantage while mid lane actually hold that thought as they're making a move for Jenkins right now. Jenkins, though, going to be forced to dish out the shield. They're ignoring this borrowed time. Dagger will still connect. It gives him a lot of his life back. It's enough time for Ziz to step in. He begins to boom, bang, bong, slash down the PA. But it's not going to be enough to be able to grab her. Oh, one more mighty hit's good from the cleave, but
they got her.
Not there yet. They got her, though.
She's
With
dead.
the
She's
astral
dead.
Setup, she goes down. And that is 2 hitting the deck. PA without a buyback right now, out nearly a minute. This is Animal Kingdom's chance to just haul their ass down this mid lane before they can even attempt any sort of split pressure. And both those side lanes are not even pushed out that far. This is totally Animal Kingdom's time to do serious base work.
Yeah, just really good itemization here from Ziz. I mean, this item takes away evasion, takes away crit. It cannot miss when you're going for the backstab from the Shadow Blade or the Silver Edge. And then, of course, it also reduces her damage output by 40%. She can do nothing but run and cower, and it makes it just so difficult to actually try to fight. Now, they aren't able to take any high ground off of this. The March Machines is maxed out now, so it will inhibit them, but they've got the map open, and that's what really all they need is just to keep on pushing up top. But as I say, that Tinker's the one up there. Where's Abba? Needs to TP up as soon as possible to try to address this.
Let's go, Jenkins. He's trying to farm up. He's trying to get that Hyperstone so he can get closer to finishing off the Mjolnir, but he'll need a bit more time.
Oracle is on the job with his massive AoE clear.
Pushing out waves.
Dude, he's the best. This is so good.
Woo! I mean, thankfully it's a low cooldown for Purifying Flames, and you can bop them one by one. But at this point in the game, when they're already so strong, look at this. He's just like, God, no, I can't. He's gonna have to take 3 creeps with him back to the fountain while the wave will continue to push in. Now Jenkins will show up. He's like, don't worry, buddy. I got it for you. And with that, he might be able to even finish off his Mjolnir. Bottom lane, though, Nushim looking to make a move here. Tries to get a catch on Juan. Help with the silence. Help with the Stormbolt. And they got it. Monster kill now for Ziz. His Sven, 9-3 and 7 this game already.
Yeah, he is hungry for that kill, too. Silver Edge, God Strength, just goes in hard. The Nyx could have had, like, double HP and still would have been absolutely dead there. So it's really hard for Evernova to start actually doing anything at this stage in the game. The Tinker doesn't have enough items. The PA is effectively countered. BKB used to be the answer to Silver Edge. You could remove it. Now I believe the most recent patch made it so that's not an option. It will stick, and as a result, you're in for a very sad time. At least he'll be able to nullify the Arcane Orb while he's not evading, but he's still going to be unable to really man-fight.
Yeah. It does look like our Tinker, I don't know if it was already mentioned, is going to decide to go down the path of the Sheepstick. I mean, at least having an ulti orb for now, unless he's going to, I don't know. I mean, I suppose one cool way to kind of split push is you get a Manta and then you just keep dishing out Mantas all the time. That would be awesome, but I don't know if he's going to be that flamboyant about it or not. We'll have to see. For now, just having the ulti orb and the extra bit of stats still needs a lot more here to be able to force Animal Kingdom to kind of not be able to break past the river. Right now, it still feels like they are definitely the ones in control. They no longer have that Aegis here, but it doesn't seem to be too necessary. And thought the Sven hit hard before, where he's already got his Demon Edge now done. Soon to be a Daedalus here. We saw the work it did in the last game. It could be one-hit knockout territory for some of these Evernova players.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
All right, so at this point, the last outer tier tower is going to fall. Evernova really don't have a great way of fighting this. I mean, they do not have to worry about Night Stalker's ultimate for 20 seconds, but even still, it's just a really strong set from Animal Kingdom. And Ziz going to get jumped, but has a lot behind him.
Yep, including that false promise. He'll get healed up after picking up the tower here. Looks to make a retreat. Some homing missile damage will be coming in. He's healed up and fine, but my goodness, the slow is there, and they're able to make the catch. Now he turns back, pops a BKB, and ZXYC just casually rolls in and gets a quick takedown of the Witch Doctor. Now PA on the back end of her BKB trying to retreat. I don't think it's going to happen here, but they got the blink off, makes it away from trouble, but oh! Jump in, blink! Sanity's Eclipse is going to help finish it here. Self-Astral to avoid the Death Ward damage. Not going to matter, though. As he comes back out, we'll eat the rest of that ward. It's going to be an OD for a PA. Animal Kingdom not looking to pull back yet, though. Let's see if they look to kind of stand up strong here, but Evernova do have this March that will keep coming out from this Tinker as long as he can juggle between that and the Fountain, so pushing doesn't seem like a likely thing here for Animal Kingdom, and it looks like they will take their business elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, the Rosh is going to be coming up in the next few minutes, and they do, like, again, the Observer Wards come into play here. Animal Kingdom really good at just dominating the Radiant side of the map with Observers and just papering it with Vision so they can always make that right engagement. They'll have to go ahead and mana up on the Sven. Actually, a lucky regen rune for him is going to allow him to do just that. But yeah, overall, they're moving in formation. They've got things covered. And Evernova, I feel like, are on their last legs. They're going to get the Hex out with the Tinker. He's getting that on the Courier right now, which is immense. I mean, this item just has so much potential. But more often than not, you're just going to get one or two out, and then you're going to be silenced, can't rearm, and you'll be gunned down very quickly.
Well, they have enough to make the most out of that 2 sheeping window, or whatever. We'll have to see. Not tremendous. There's a fair amount of right-click damage from Nature's Prophet, but not enough to really, be fearful of. So it's more on the PA and maybe a good Death Ward to kind of make the most of that opportunity. PA even will need that next big item. I mean, when we look at where she stands on this net worth, being what almost is like 8K away, 8K away from the Sven, we're talking nearly 2 big items right there. So this PA has certainly got a lot of work ahead of her here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Ziz is pretty deep here. Almost had a courier opportunity, but
up top, it looks like Hook is not going to be able to TP out of here. Did not bring a TP scroll with him, and that's actually going to be a kill.
60 seconds does have buyback here. We'll see if Animal Kingdom look to kind of move forward fast. Roche is also up, and it's pinged out. Oh no, it's not pinged out, but they have the Satyr nearby. But Roche is up if they want to make their move for it. Ziz though continues. Oh, does he see him? He does. He sees Let Me Go from the high ground, and he's going to even hit him from the high ground. Giving him a bit of a haircut at that point. Let Me Go says, holy crap, I got to get the hell out of here. Gets the force help from the Nyx, and will make it away from trouble. And at this point, maybe Animal Kingdom will thinking about making their move and trying to get this Aegis. An Aegis and another big push here could be the ticket.
We're actually going to be seeing this Sven rapidly getting into an item cap position. He doesn't really want to drop the Quelling Blade against Sprout, so maybe considers Battle Fury or I don't know, Force Staff obviously breaks Sprout, but yeah, BOTs, Satanic, Moonshard, and maybe honestly a Battle Fury all could be comboed up as that's kind of 6 slot. Otherwise, the MKB, the Silver Edge, that's the item to do against the PA and against the laser too. Like, you don't even have to worry about laser because it doesn't disarm you. It gives you 100% miss chance, and that's something KotLGuy does not really care about.
All right, that's going to be the Roche takedown for Animal Kingdom. Aegis going to be picked up from your OD. That leaves Ja with the cheese. And now Animal Kingdom got to feel like they have the ammunition necessary here to kind of get this job done. While Evernova is still struggling behind quite a bit. You're looking at a 15K plus net worth advantage right now for Animal Kingdom. Top lane, Jenkins gets caught out on his own, but Ziz has a new fancy pair of red shoes that he's looking to flex. And when they see that someone showed up but they don't know who they are, yeah, Ziz is probably Lothar'd up right now, and they are looking to just get the hell back. Self-sprout. Oh, they ate the tree, but it's not the right one. So he's going to be able to BKB and TP out. Oh, unfortunate right there.
He ate the right one, but there was a diagonal tree as well. It's like those times where you have to break 2 cogs to get through. It's rough.
BKB TP as well for the PA to make it out. BKB's all around. Lucian even uses his, so well, a little scare tactics coming out from both fronts here, but not enough to really allow a significant advantage from one side or the other to kind of move on in. Just still Animal Kingdom with the benefit of their Aegis. Maybe once their BKBs kind of roll off cooldown here is when they're going to kind of make their advancement. Because these lanes are still pushed pretty far forward. The top lane already inside the base. Mid is approaching. Bottom's pretty far forward. I mean, it looks like you can't ask for a whole lot more for Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, it's just about when they really want to commit. Bottom line is they feel like they don't have to worry about the split push for this particular moment. Furion will try to change that back within the next 60 seconds, but in that time, they could be knocking at the tier 3.
All right, we'll see if they can do it here. Hanging around the low ground right now. Evernova making the most out, pushing out the other 2 lanes. Hook's doing work at the top. Yeah, as is
they don't want to do it.
Ready.
They're just going to try to pick up the Nature's Prophet, and he's not going to show.
We'll see. Maybe they're just going to be sending Ziz up there for now.
Yeah, but even still, like, that's, I mean, him not pushing within that window, and he's not wave clearing, so somebody else is going to have to go back anyways.
And that means Evernova are going to be stuck waiting, watching from inside their home, but still stalling out. Animal Kingdom just kind of not really finding that opportunity. A big move in here from the Tinker. Gets pinged out, but he quickly blinks away from trouble. It's a bit of a dangerous game to play, but can be very, very rewarding here for Evernova if it does stall things out for the extra couple of minutes. And any extra time for this PA to kind of build up is a benefit for Evernova. Because as you said before, the Sven is starting to cap up quite a bit. And I don't know, late game, PA versus Sven, who do you really got?
Yeah, I mean, with the itemization we've seen from Ziz, I actually think there's a lot of value in what Sven's bringing. Technically, his passive scale better, but that's something that they're managing, and and that Silver Edge can deal with very directly. So, I actually think that Sven, generally speaking, will have more potential in a direct fight, while PA has more mobility because of her Phantom Strike. The Sven doesn't have an SMY, doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so she's all about kind of staying away from the Sven, jumping on the Oracle, killing him really quickly with maybe a lucky crit, and making sure that she's out of the reach of the Sven at all times.
And like sharks in the water, Animal Kingdom, I guess appropriate for their name, continue to circle around from top to bottom right here. Not allowing any of these lanes to continue to push even close to the river, but that could mean that at some point Evernova could get a catch on one staggering little animal, almost getting a move there for Ziz, but Ziz is fine. He's got John nearby, saves him out from trouble, and he will regroup and step back here. But hey, you know, it's more map to farm for Animal Kingdom. You know, it's obviously them winning the economy game at this moment. As long as Evernova are kind of hiding inside their base, that means they're not farming at all, but they're actually looking for the weaker target here in Jenkins. So rotation even coming in from Let Me Go will help you there in time, and there he is. It's Ziz showing up quickly, cleaves right through, and 2 hit the deck. This might be the moment for Animal Kingdom to close out this game. Number 2, can they get it here? They continue to hustle in, and now they look for the pullback as PA makes a committed dive, trying to finish off Ja. It might be more than enough.
No, he ate the cheese. He was fine.
Oh, he was fine. He ate the cheese. Blown up, turnaround, Sanity's Eclipse, a buyback going to be forced out now from the Witch Doctor as they make their move for PA. They easily bop her on down. OD just doing significant work there. PA going to be out 60 seconds unless she does buy back.
They've already spent 3 buybacks. They can't afford to do any more, and yet they need something in return for all this. They've only gotten to spend. They're going to look for Nusham, who does not have a clear path of escape. Astro will delay it. They're going to try to reinforce it, but the Furion hits up the back line.
It's a gem if it goes down. It looks like they're not going to be able to get him. They turn their sights on Juan, and they'll finish him instead. Now Derp, who already bought back, going to be forced to ghost up right now. There will be a nice little sprout to save him out. Jenkins going to be caught in the inside. PA makes his move. They dive on in, and they will get him. Animal Kingdom this time, it's them to go on the retreat, though. Nusham will be able to make it out. Looks like TP's good there, but Ja, not so lucky. It looks like Hook was able to kind of get the blink in catch, or at least the TP in catch. Dishes out the Sprout, and yeah, my God, he's going to blow the hell up.
I would love to see the number, actually, just how much it actually blows them up for at the end of that. But the more important thing is really the fact that there were 4 buybacks from Evernova. Not a single one from Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
They were able to get 3 early, and the PA, Baidu King, felt that he needed to buy back to get back and to actually get any kills in return. And yes, they succeeded in that. They killed the Abba, they killed the Oracle, but in the end, the buyback is the much more valuable asset. Is now Animal Kingdoms can go in knowing that if they have BOTs and buyback available, as at least the OD does, and the Sven almost does, you can just essentially use your buyback as an Aegis. And you just essentially walk in to the base with that first life, buyback, BOT in, and you're playing like 7v5, 7v6 if the Furion buys back.
We'll see if Animal Kingdom recognize a potential like that and make use of this window of opportunity while they do have it, and while those buybacks are going to be on cooldown here, and they have that big advantage. But got to take the steps towards that, though, and it looks like they're going to be doing so by keeping these lanes pushed out and away. This Pesky's Nature's Prophet, any given ultimate, obviously keeps the lanes that extra push forward here with those frickin' little pumpkins. But Jenkins, appropriate itemization for him with the Maelstrom here, is able to easily do work. It's the lawnmower man, if you will, chomps them all apart. And with that and the right timing, they can now converge and make their move back into the base of Evernova. You know, for the benefit of Evernova, there's been no real significant base damage done yet, still with all 3 tier 3 towers and barracks. We'll have to see how much longer time is going to be on their side.
Can I just say real quick how doofy this Abaddon helm looks like?
It really is goofy as hell.
Like, it wouldn't look so bad if you didn't have the little, like white eyeballs. Like, if it was just a blank face, it would maybe has some intimidation factor, get a little bit more shading on it. But you got those 2 little goofy pins of eyes on there, and it just like looks like a cartoon character.
He claps his hand when he puts the shield on, too. That was weird. All right. Yeah, and he's got he's like a sea creature with a knight, and I don't know what the hell's happening here. Jenkins will make it work, though, I suppose. Dishing out this top lane push on in right now. Evernova back like herded sheep behind their pen. Can't really creep on up there alone. Any sort of free opportunity is going to quickly lead to what you're talking of, a potential 6 versus 7 to a 3 versus 7. So it's just playing the game right now here for the Animal Kingdom right now. It's a slow and tedious game, but Evernova know if they slip this one up, they're just as fast out of the tournament as they came in, and it could be a 2-0 for the Dire.
I feel at this point in the game that we're not really feeling the impact of the Tinker compared to almost any other solo mid hero. Like early on when he had that 4-4-0-0, I was like, okay, we can really see something. But there was a 10-minute period of time immediately after that where we saw almost no kills against Animal Kingdom, and now all he is this permanent Scythe of Ice, which of course is really, really good on paper, but in the practicality of it and being able to rearm hex, rearm hex, rearm hex in this kind of a game and with these kinds of confrontations, it just doesn't seem really possible. I mean, obviously you've got the ability to Lotus Orb it off, Aphotic Shield it off. It's not really easy for the Tinker to make the use of this item, and for that reason I feel like he's in a weaker state than a lot of the other mids will be.
See if he can make anything out of this one. He's going to be teaming up with the rest of his team. They look to make their jump. There's that first sheep making a move onto Nusham here. Stun, those going to be swing and a miss, and they quickly dish out the false promise. Nusham tries to trunt on in, and then Ziz shows his face out from the dark. Nice quick Ghost Scepter. Saves Derp, but not for long. Boom. One quick slash to the back, and he goes down. That's a gem on the deck. Doesn't look like Animal Kingdom were able to spot it, so Gem's still out there, but...
Oh, they got the Furion on the back line, man. That's huge. Nature Prophet's going to have to buy back in their next engagement while they're already hitting up on the top lane with Jenkins.
This is going to be rough. Let me go. We'll try to get off as many machines as he can while PA looks to go for the lonesome Jenkins here. Jenkins happy to kind of draw her attention onto him while the rest of his team is making the move on the bottom lane where they quickly dish out and kill the Witch Doctor once more. Back at the top lane, Jenkins, he's like, yeah, keep coming for me. Keep coming for me. I'll pop out borrowed time. But you know what? Couldn't be more of an ironic name. He's borrowing the time, taking it away from them as they don't put their attention on the bottom. They quickly wipe out the racks. They make the move now for mid lane tier 3. They finally take Jenkins down. And with that, Animal Kingdom will walk away with their winnings here. They do their first real base work on this bottom.
I'm surprised they're not ending it right now. If you look at buyback status, I highly recommend that chart because it's very telling of what they could do right now.
Yeah.
They have 4 heroes with boots of travel. Easily Abaddon could be in the Radiant base right now, and they have 3 more heroes that could reinforce even after their first death. There's no way Evernova can kill 9 heroes, and yet I feel like that's what Animal Kingdom could have brought into that situation just now. But as it is, they will back off. Buybacks will refresh our Witch Doctor, Tinker, and Nyx with PA soon to come.
It's hard to gauge. I'm sure it's something they know is feasible, but maybe just playing it way safe right now. And as they make a move for the Roche here, Evernova wants something to do about it, but let me go. They let him go, man, but he eats a Sanity's Eclipse on the way back, but PA not going to be let go at all. She quickly goes down. 90 seconds, no buyback, and that will be game. Former Leviathan squad, now reincarnated into Animal Kingdom, have pulled off a win here and have made their way out from the first round of BTS Americas 4.
Took a while, but it was suddenly a sudden death confrontation in that Roche pit, and it almost seemed half-hearted. The fight down bottom was low commitment from Evernova. That Roche pit was just desperate, and here we have Animal Kingdom, exclamation point, showing what they can do. 2-0ing their first round. And do we, as far as the brackets go, does that actually mean that they're going to be going up against T-Show?
That is correct, yes. It's how the schedule has it worked out and how they've done it is we're going right from top to the bottom on the bracket here. I'm actually updating it as we speak, otherwise I would show it over to everyone. I will be showing it right as this game does end, so you can stick around to see the updated bracket there, but that will end up concluding our first day here. So Blaze, it's been a hell of an opener right now. A bit of an upset to start off our day with Fire going down to T-Show, and here we see Animal Kingdom, the new kind of Leviathan squad, hybrid squad, able to pull out
Well, and it is starting to get really interesting. I mean, we're seeing a lot of hero variability. Maybe the first phase gets a little bit repetitive in some of the extended series, but generally speaking, like, there's so much flexibility. We're seeing Tinkers and PAs along with the tried and true heroes that we see every game. We're seeing Abba and Oracle, which is definitely not something that's all that common. Like, we get to see these teams play unique strategies and just kind of try to one-up their opponents. We're seeing great drafts. We're seeing great matchups, especially in the mid lanes. And I just look forward to what the rest of the tournament has to offer, man.
Should be a good time. So that means that tomorrow we'll be back. Same time, same place. There's your updated bracket now. T-Show, Animal Kingdom will be going up at the top at the first round. And, well, for tomorrow, that means we're going to be seeing Shazam versus Not Today. And to follow it up, Elite Wolves versus Power Friendship. Should be a good time. Thank you so much, folks, for coming by and hanging in for our day of BTS Americas 4 action. See you tomorrow for more of it. That's Blaze Casting. I'm KotLGuy, and we'll see you tomorrow.